And we are on topic of seeking out mentors. Powerful conversation we're going to have. Powerful. So glad you joined us. Thank you. This is Rich Girl Workshop and it is session number 105. Yes. Okay. So here we go. You can catch these on YouTube under Suzanne Brothers Rich Girl Workshop, and they are done live. There's no editing happening. I just like bring it out to you. However, it comes out of my head. Okay, you guys, but today is one I feel passionate about, like every single subject that I ever do talk to you about. I'm going to talk to you about thinking over the years of how I lack, call it unawareness of me, but it was a not fully seeking out mentorship, mentors. It was available, but due to me being maybe intimidated or too intimidated to ask, or embarrassed that others that I thought so highly of would think less of me, or they would think that I was not capable or smart enough, or that I was kind of needy, or I was taking up their precious time. That kind of thinking kept me from a very valuable source to support the areas of my life I really wanted to grow in. Now, doing it yourself, you guys, seriously, doing it yourself has merit, but it gives you a lot of bloody knees that are probably not necessary. Or it gives you do over, do over, do over, do over, do over, same lesson, same lesson, same lesson, same experience. And that can be really rough. So there is, of course, pride in the pain. That needs to be considered. But both sides of pride can be good and bad. And that's why I really feel like, honestly, it's good advice to seek out good mentorship, good coaching. But one thing that I would honestly change over all of those years is that I would seek more than just one out. Seeking those out, people whose lives I admired and I wanted to emulate. Oh, and I did emulate them. And of course, I listened to CDs and podcasts, and I still do today. I'm just a junkie for that kind of stuff. But here is the actual purpose of Rich Girl Workshop. It's to get connective ideas with you, to have tips form in your mind that you either get from me or you start to form your own. These kinds of thoughts, coaching, mentorship, it's all right here. The topics that I share with you may help you a little, or they may help you a lot. But that's what they're here for. Well, little or a lot, however I can make a contribution to you. If your life is more joyful, more happy, more successful, more real, more valuable, that's what this is all about. You may or may not agree with me all the time. That's okay. That is okay. But what happens here is more important. What happens is we start talking about these subjects, and then it becomes thought, and thought will promote feelings, and feelings always can create action, and then of course, bam, you get results. Love it. Don't you love it? Now, the last two sessions that we did were on seeking failure and making decisions. And I had shared with you about a friend that was mine and had spent a lot of time asking the opinion of too many mentors. Now, it stalled her because it overloaded her. I mean, totally overloaded her heart and her mind, and it diminished her trust, her actual trust and her motivation in herself. She just figured too much reliance on too many other people's opinion. That was a warning, and it still is my warning for you today. So my suggestion is seek out wisdom, choose carefully, know that each mentor brings something different to you, of course, right? Something different. Some are going to help you with organizational systems. Some are going to help you with just systems. Some may give you creative ideas. Others down to earth advice, maybe no nonsense kind of stuff. Others will give you fun and maybe a frolic. And then there are those rare mentors who will just build you spiritually. So you get it here, right? There is not one really do it all mentor. Okay? Everyone brings something different to the table of our lives, and so do we to theirs. So people can come into our lives, people go out of our lives. So think of it kind of like a wave, maybe never meant to stay. A meaningful mentorship can be a 20-minute podcast that you listen to, or a 20-year relationship or longer. But after years of experiences, I know this to be true, that the countless experiences have allowed this kind of a natural organicness of the truth for me is that I would stop feeling so brokenhearted or let down or disappointed, well, certainly disappointed, when I felt like I had lost a relationship because people come in and go out. I wasn't willing to let people go out. But really, that's the way God runs the world. So I had to pay attention to that. Decide that every single relationship, it has a gift for us, and they give a gift back most of the time, hopefully. But that each relationship, that gift is something, and then that allows our gratitude to engage here. Our gratitude. Okay, now be aware. I just want to have you hear me out on this one too. Be aware of influence is really different than mentorship. I know that many of you have had experience with positional power, positional influence. While it may control the actions of another human being, maybe this is a boss, maybe this is someone that you is an authority somehow over you, but they don't capture your heart. You may have experienced this many, many times in your life, but that is authority and it's positional power, and it's really not necessarily a positive influence. In fact, that person really is probably de-mentoring you, if that's even a word. That kind of positional power may be holding an entire team, company, church, mission back completely. So there is a warning here that I want to bring up, and that is, I really believe after all these years that we do become like the 5 people that we spend the most time with. So that's something to put into check as well for you. Okay, so I'm going to give you your homework early. Here it is. Seek out someone you want to be mentored by. Ask them. We are in a time that truly requires this. If we're going to have the experience and the growth that we really want to have part of our lives, this is a really important time to seek this out. Because when we are left alone without influence, we stumble, we can become uninspired. Oh my gosh, a host of things. Whoever you are seeking out, make sure that they are not too soft on you. Now, I don't think that they need to batter you down, no, but they need to not be soft on you, not necessarily for any reason other than it's just plain good for your growth to feel like somebody's holding your feet to the fire a little bit in a good way. You don't need to be petted or babied, right? You don't need that. You need to be treated like the champion that you are and the person that you are becoming. The good use of influence, you guys, seriously, it's essential if we're going to seize our divine moments. Now, if somehow you think that you've blown God's plan for your life, I want you to rest in this. You, my friend, are not that powerful. You're not, neither am I. What is you may be on a brink of a breakthrough. No matter what kind of obstacle you're facing right now, I'm going to plead with you not to give up. The challenges that you have do not have to be isolated frustrations that you have to endure. They may actually be setting you up for a leap forward that you've just never anticipated. You may be right now on a brink of a breakthrough. So refuse to give worry a foothold. It not only zaps us of our joy, but also takes away our focus from what really matters. That's right. Worry takes away our focus, puts it somewhere else. In fact, refer right now to 2 Timothy 1:7 that goes, God has not given us the spirit of fear, but the power and of love and a sound mind. Okay, right there. Good old book, right? Let your faith and your sense of adventure be bigger than your fear. Allow that to happen. Let your sense of adventure. Yes, bring it on. This is adventure. Seek direction, not perfection. And again, mentorship and coaching can make a huge difference, especially for those of you who seem to be slightly perfectionistic. You know who you are, right? And that's why a coach can really help you direct so that you literally are doing the things that matter and not the things that don't matter. You know what I mean by that? Well, I'll give you one small hint. If your house is burning down, you're not going to stop and blow out the candles, right? So a good coach, a good mentor will help you stay directional, do the things that matter, be thinking about the things that really matter. So here we go. We're going to recognize what you can do. Don't let difficulties paralyze you. Be consistent in the things that you do have control over, like your personal obedience, staying immersed in powerful and positive relationships, and of course, self-talk. I haven't talked about that a lot. Self-talk. And then of course, remain faithful to your other responsibilities. You guys don't give up your other responsibilities and pour everything into one arena. It will frustrate you and it will be very much a win in vain. Okay, now all these actions we've talked about may seem inconsequential in the moment, but by being faithful in them, you're actually laying a foundation for some major growth. You really are. Major growth. I tell you, I don't think it's in the big stuff, you guys. I think it's in the small details. It always will be. So please don't allow your obstacles that you're having right now, and we all have them. We're either going into an obstacle, coming out of one, right? Yeah. Don't let your obstacles eclipse God's goodness. When life gets tough, it's easy to let the negative take center stage, right? Of course. You get a do-over anytime. And then guess what you get? You get to learn lessons from your fall. So you fall and you get up and you stay up the next time. Do not waste your fall down experience. And your fall down experience doesn't have to be wasted as long as you identify, okay, I learned something here. I'm going to maybe change my ways the next time. But you guys, if you keep doing things the same way you've always done them all the time, you're going to keep having small fall down experiences that will frustrate your dreams and they'll persecute you. Okay. Now, I want to go back to gratitude for just a second because you never want to underestimate the power of gratitude. An appreciative heart that will brighten you and give you a much better outlook on life. Have you communicated gratitude to yourself and to other people in your life? Really communicated it, because as we do, it increases the very essence of its own power. Gratitude has its own power, and it gives more to you than you gave to another person. That's biblical. I know it is. So let's embrace the strength, skills, wisdom that we're gaining right now. When you do, you may discover that these challenges that you're currently facing are definitely really positioning you for the breakthrough that we've been talking about, an abundance that you never expected. Again, good mentorship, good coaching, that can make all the difference in the world. Just like your kids, and you've seen them play a dozen kinds of sports. They have a good coach, they accelerated. You saw it on the Super Bowl on Sunday, didn't you? Oh my gosh. Okay, homework again. Seek out someone you want to be mentored by and ask them. We are in a time that truly does require this. We have to have good mentors and experience. This will help us experience the growth that we want to have in our life accelerated. We don't want to wait until we're 95 years old and have figured it all out, right? Because when left alone, we do stumble and we become uninspired in a host of other things. Don't leave yourself alone. Don't leave yourself in your own thoughts without someone else there to help you and maybe decipher what those are, because our mind can be a scary place. The good use of influence is essential if we're going to seize really our best future and our most divine nature, our most divine moments. Okay, you're richer this week than you were last week. Why? Because you're making improvements. You're listening to this Facebook Live. Yes, you're thinking new thoughts. Congratulations. Mwah! That's so good. You're making progress. Man, doesn't it feel great? Even if you feel like you're just making progress in the thoughts or the notes that you are mentally taking, that's progress. So this is Suzanne Brothers Varley signing off for session 105 today with you. Please give me your comments. I get excited about hearing them, seeing them, and everything. And of course, I always respond to your comments. Thanks for being on today. God bless, and we'll see you next time.